The next JDK 27 release, due in September, includes 9 JEPs with new and enhanced features. Let's look at all of them. OpenJDK offers not 1 but 7 garbage collectors. Each of them is tailored to a specific scenario, so developers can choose a garbage collector suitable for their performance requirements for throughput, latency, or footprint. But before JDK 27, there was a catch. If the app got 1 CPU or less than 1,792 megabytes of physical memory, the serial GC was chosen automatically, regardless of the garbage collector implementation chosen by the developer. This was, of course, done intentionally because years ago, serial GC showed in tests that it has better throughput and footprint in constrained environments. But a lot has changed since then. G1GC, the default garbage collector in Java, has been constantly improved, and now G1GC can compete with serial GC with all heap sizes. At the same time, G1GC has always had better latency than serial GC. So JEP 523 makes G1GC the default garbage collector for all environments, regardless of the number of processors or physical memory. JEP 527 makes Java's TLC 1.3 connections more ready for the post-quantum world. Namely, it adds hybrid key exchange algorithms. They combine today's proven cryptography with newer quantum-resistant cryptography. The idea is to protect data from harvest now, decrypt later attacks. This is when someone stores encrypted traffic today and tries to break it later with a quantum computer. For most Java applications using the Java's SSL package, this feature should work by default. There's no need to change the code unless the application already specifically uses another key exchange scheme. Lazy constants are objects holding immutable data. Like final fields, they are treated as constants by the JVM and allow for similar optimizations. But unlike finals, they don't have to be initialized at the moment of creation. It allows the application to initialize incrementally and so start faster. JEP 531 repreviews the feature with several significant changes. First, it removes the low-level methods is initialized and or else. This keeps API simpler and harder to misuse. Secondly, it adds a new factory method, setOfLazy. This means that you can define a set of possible elements, but compute whether each one is actually included only when it is checked. This is a preview feature, so we have to enable preview features to use it. Primitive types in patterns, instanceof, and switch make Java's pattern matching work with primitive types such as int, long, double, or boolean. That means that instanceof and switch can now reason about primitive types more directly. For example, a switch can match an int value using type patterns and guards. It makes numeric checks cleaner and more expressive. JEP 532 repreviews this feature without changes. Enable preview features to use it. Structured concurrency is the feature that aims to improve the experience of working with concurrency in Java. The idea is to treat several related tasks as one unit, so they start together, stop together, and fail consistently. This is especially useful when one request needs several things in parallel. For example, load the user, recommendations, and order at the same time. JEP 533 repreviews this feature with several changes. The main change is the exception handling. The built-in joiners now throw a familiar execution exception. This is the same kind of exception Java developers already know from FutureGet, so exception handling becomes more familiar. This is a preview feature, so we have to enable preview features to use it. Compact object headers is the feature that reduces the size of object headers in the HotSpot JVM to 64 bits on 64-bit architectures. This helps to reduce the heap size, especially in the applications that create lots of small objects, CPU time, and improve deployment density. The goal of this feature is to get better memory efficiency without code changes or changing the object behavior. JEP 534 makes compact object headers default in the HotSpot JVM. JEP 536 adds a new feature to Java Flight Recorder, in-process data redaction. This means that the JFR can now hide sensitive data, such as command line arguments, environmental variables, and system properties before the recording leaves the running JVM. and it does so by default without any additional configuration. This is a great feature because JFR files are often shared with the support team or stored in the bug reports, and you don't want a password accidentally stored in the performance recording, right? If the application really needs the old behavior, the redaction can be configured or switched off with the JFR settings. Vector API provides a way to write complex vector algorithms directly in the Java code. Developers can use the programming model that will enable efficient vectorization. Manually written vector loops can express high-performance algorithms, which an auto-vectorizer may never optimize. This feature will be useful in many areas, including machine learning, linear algebra, cryptography, finance, and even the JDK code itself. The Vector API was first introduced in JDK 16. JEP 529 re-incubates the Vector API without significant changes. The long-term goal of Vector API is to take advantage of Project Valhalla's features. This project aims to improve the Java object model. So, Vector API will incubate until the necessary features of the Valhalla project will be previewed. And then Vector API will be promoted from incubation to preview. PAM encodings of cryptographic objects is a new standard Java API for reading and writing files in the privacy-enhanced mail transport format. This format is often used for cryptographic keys, certificates, and certificate revocation lists. JEP 538 repreviews this feature with a few minor changes, such as adding classes and methods, renaming classes, and making the PAM class an ordinary class instead of a record. This is a preview feature, so you have to enable preview features to use it. This was a summary of all 9 JEPs of JDK 27. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like it, subscribe to our channel, and until next time!